Just picked up a nice little ride-on mower. It's quite a modern one. Just unbolted this Briggs & Stratton 15.5. It's just stopped on the previous owner, so now I've had a look around and I've got the plug out. It's got spark, everything's fine. As you can see, if I turn it over, I hold my finger over the spark plug hole. It's nothing. No compression whatsoever. It should be going puffing air out there. So that's why it's not starting. So to me, that's valve problem. It must be a stuck valve. I don't know a lot about these motors, so I'm just going to pull things off. Oh, there we go. There's the bottom one is the inlet. Now just closed. Oh, there it goes. It's coming out, closed off. Then you'll see the top one, the exhaust opening. See it in there. It's hard to see, but it does its thing, and it looks like it comes back out and it seats off nicely. So it's not the valves. So I've had a bit of look in the piston. There it is. It's sitting right at the top. I've only got two hands. I'll just lean my leg against it there. Put a little bit of weight, and when I turn that should go in. Piston doesn't move, so that's just not cool. Alright, I've taken out all these head bolts. This, I've gave it a little tap. Here it goes. Doesn't look like the piston's hit anything anyway, so it's a good sign so far. Get this rest of this gasket off. Got it. Ooh, there we go. It's broken at the bottom. Jeez. It's not cool. Oh yeah, look at all those shavings. Oh. Just wiped out all that metal. And that bore's really nice. Alright guys, I've started stripping this off. Got rid of all this stuff. That came off pretty easy. Use a impact gun, this flywheel, to get this off. I've got a puller here, just your everyday standard flywheel puller. Easy. Now there'll be magnets under here holding it on, so it sort of feels like it's pulling, but there we go. Now the little keyway has fallen in there, so I've got to get a magnet or something to get that out. Yeah, so I'll strip off what I can, and then I'll basically take this motor out. I'm not sure what happens underneath. There's obviously another keyway on the pulleys. There'll be two pulleys, one for the drive, one for the blades. Well, that came out easy. The whole thing just pulled out this hole. I didn't have to take off the bottom pulleys. Just took the whole motor out, 4 bolts. Easy. Now this thing, it just had hooked up in that hole. I had a 5/8 socket fitted on that. That bolt there. And just gave it a tiny tap and off it comes. No, it's no keyway. It must be. It's part of this. It's joined to it. So yeah, easy. So that's off. Now it's there's all those bolts there. This is coming off quite easy. Just give me a little tap there. go. There's the bottom of the conrod. It's a bit mashed. I'll have to read up on this when I put it back, but obviously there's marks to line up. Just show you again that destroyed conrod there. Very impressive. Crank, nasty gouges in there. That was really the only damage. But, yeah, ordered the bits. Here they come. Here they are. So I've got to take this apart. Get the new one in there. I don't know how it comes apart, but I'll work it out. Alrighty. Alright, there's nothing to that. This gear, this little keyway there, slots in there somewhere, there. That comes off easy. And this, it's just got a pissy plastic clip, holds in there, and then both these can all slide off. Like I said before, it's quite easy. I just took out that plastic cap, slid them off, cleaned everything up, put this new gear on. Yeah, everything's good. So if you look down here, I've cleaned everything, cleaned the other side. Everything's ready to go. So I can basically put this in now. Slide this in. Ah, there we go. Just wasn't quite lined up with the bottom. Alright, so that's in now. Next thing I've got to do, new conrod, I've got to put the piston on top. It has to now come in from here basically. I'll line that up and then bolt the bottom cap on from there. There's a pin in there somewhere, circlip, take that out, pop that in and slide it in, bolt it on like I just showed. So I'll get that done. And then we'll come back and move on to the next stage, which will be putting this cam in. Now, if you don't have one of those special ring compressors, squeeze the rings in, which I haven't got. I just put a big cable, zip tie around there. Then you just give it a little tap in there and off it goes. I won't do it with one hand, but yeah, easy as. Bolts here, that conrod, pistons in. Everything went well. Now, so I've got this gear's got to go in. There we go. That mark there will line up. There's a little mark on here somewhere, so I'll spin that around. Just give me a sec. Also, first, before we do that, these are the lifters. They go in the two holes down there, so I'll just pop them in. We want plenty of oil on them. Now we spin this around, find that hole I was talking about. Just a tiny little dot. That will be the dot that this will line up with. Same thing, lots of oil. I've already put oil in the hole down there. So I'm gathering it's that little hole there. That's the only mark I can see. Goes into a slot down the bottom there. There we go. You see that little mark is lined up with that one. So that's your timing, that's done. Now the other thing is this little oil spinner. So that will spin it over. That just sits on there, and that lines up with that. We've just got to as long as that's lining up with that, when you put this other side in, it'll fit in that groove wherever it sits. Got this gasket on, ready to go. Poured oil over everything. Everything's nice and slippery. This side's cleaned up, nice. Put oil all inside there. I might just put a little bit. Little dowel joins, just line them up. Have a bit of a look in there. Looks good. Just a little tap with a wooden hammer there. Sliding down nicely. There was no resistance at all, so it wasn't catching on anything. Just a little tap around there. You can see that's seated perfectly all the way around, just how we want it. Basically now, I just pop all the bolts in and tension them up. So I've just stood it up now. Also, I just spun it over. A bit tricky by hand, but I've just done a full resolution before I fully tighten up the bolts. Make sure nothing's catching, and it feels nice. I've got heaps of oil in there, so it's all good. See how we go there. Oh, there we go. Hear that? Go. So we'll pull them all up to that so I know they're even. It's a tricky one. It only goes to 30 and then you've just got to count the zeros back. So that should be 14. Pinch that back up. Just see how that feels. Start up the top. Feels scary. Just nip them up. There we go. Yes. Go back to that one. They all feel good, so that's good. All clean, gaskets on. I've got the two rods in, poured lots of oil down in there. Head's all clean. Well, still a bit of carbon in there, but you can see that. But it's clean enough. Gasket's all taken off nicely. I haven't linished it or anything. That wasn't the problem with the motor, so it should be all good. I've got it back up to the top dead center. Slide this over. Solve these. That feels good. Put head bolts in. All right. Now set my torque wrench up to the right. Oh, we'll probably do it in 3. I'll come 10 under and then slowly sneak it up to the right amount. So I'll get that done and we'll come back. Alright, so I bolted the motor back in just so I could tension up the rest of these head bolts. I've loosened that off. I've just given it a little gap. It's moving now, so now I'll get a set of gauges. These things. What I'll do, I'll get all that bolted on. It's simple from here. That's the only mechanical sort of thing I've got to do. The rest is just bolting on stuff. So quickly do that, and we'll come back for the starting stage. Hopefully it's good luck and it just starts. I'll be stoked. Righto. Oh yeah, sounded good. Try again. Alright, that sounded pretty good. It was a little bit chuggy there at the start, but it seemed to clear out, so I'll start it again. I'll start it without shake, see how it goes. I'm excited. I'll put this back together, the rest of it, and have a mow tomorrow. Alrighty. Thanks for watching, guys.